back to the Cowboys Fan Show. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined by Scott Jeter. Now, in this segment, we like to have a look around the NFC East, see how the other teams are doing, see what the Cowboys are up against this year. So we're going to have a look first at the Giants taking on the Ravens. We'll pick it up here late in the third quarter. Eli Manning finds OBJ for a long bomb. This is one of two deep touchdowns for OBJ this week.
Yeah, that guy is fast, man. Yeah, he turns the burners on and he's gone. Nobody's catching him.
And there he goes, doing the triple jump for his celebration. Flacco now in possession. He's going to air it out. And this one is complete all the way down the sideline. Almost gets into the end zone. Finally tackled by the Giants. That's Mike Wallace.
The Jenkins getting burned. Yep.
Yeah, Jenkins getting burned. And now the Ravens try to punch it in. But do they, is the question. We're going to see the refs come out, and they're going to mark it fourth down. Now, 4th and goal, the ensuing play, they're in a sweep out to the left side, stoned cold once again, and that big money defense for the Giants stepping up, making some plays.
Yeah, that was a big stop in that game right there, man. Really gave him a chance to come back.
And there's Eli finding OBJ once again. Odell Beckham Jr. had his best career game in this one, 222 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and he also had a marriage proposal accepted. We'll show you that one after we get through these highlights as the Giants tack on a field goal, and they're up now 20-16 with just under 6 minutes left. Now moving along, 2 minutes left. The Ravens are able to pound one in and keep this game interesting. You see John Harbaugh there on the sideline now. Eli Manning, 4th and 1 for the Giants. And this is a big play, down 3, minute 36 to go. Eli finds OBJ, no safety help. Oh, there's a safety. Didn't give any help, and he is gone.
Like I said, yeah, he's just quick. I mean, and 4th and 1, obviously, you're trying to stop the run, put that game away, and, man, yeah, he's just quick. Nobody's catching him after he gets back there.
And that was the decisive touchdown in that game as New York would win 27-23 over Baltimore. And I was saying about Odell Beckham Jr. having a marriage proposal accepted. Let's have a look at that one. So we'll chronicle the timeline. This was week 3 against Washington. Gets frustrated, hits the net. Well, in week 5, he decides to go and make up with the net. And this week, he just went all out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a love affair.
So
OBJ in the net.
So he's climbing into bed with his net here, just having a good time. This was after his first big touchdown. And after his second big touchdown, well, he's got a question to ask. And apparently, she said yes.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm actually happy with the fact that OBJ is losing his mind.
Yeah. He's a clown.
But
really?
I hope they're happy. I really do.
Best wishes in your endeavors, Odell Beckham, and the kicking net.
Yeah.
It seems to be getting pretty serious between the two, so we'll leave you be. Hopefully, we don't have to see any more of that PDA on our television screens come Sunday, because it was cool the first time, it was all right the second time, but when you want to pop the question to a kicking net, are we sure she said yes?
Well, OBJ, yeah, who knows? I don't know. And I'm not too worried about that. And another thing I'm not worried about, the New York Giants in this division. Now, fact of the matter is, their first 2 wins, they beat us, they beat the Saints. Those were defensive struggles. They barely pulled this one out. That defense was fresh in weeks 1 and week 2. We've touched on this before, and we do every week. They are overplaying their guys. And so you see in that highlight, Jenkins got burned on one right there.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big money cornerback right there. Big money cornerback. JPP, Olivier Vernon, still playing 90% of the snaps right there. They had that big 4th down stop right there, but they are still breaking down. Their defense is not what it was. I mean, they gave up, I think, 13 points to the Saints, 19 to us. We average a lot more than that.
Right.
They're giving up more points than that. I think the Ravens scored what on them? 23? 23. So their defense is not playing as solid as they were in the first several games of the season or whatnot. OBJ is coming along, but when you look at what we're doing this year, I mean, we shut down Jordy Nelson. We shut down A.J. Green. Our corners are playing lights out. Our defensive line is getting better as this season progresses, not worse like the Giants are. Not worried about those guys in this division, Tyler.
Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowl rings. Some may call it a fluke. I think it was just getting hot at the right time for that team. The defense really did a lot, especially when they beat those 18-0 Patriots to send them to 18-1.
And it's the Patriots. They just had their number. They just said their time was up, and Brady probably hates those guys a lot.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So let's move along now. Now, normally we'll cover the Redskins and then the Eagles, But they played each other this week, so we'll just do it all at once. We'll pick it up here just before halftime, and it's going to be a pick six thrown by Kirk Cousins. So Kirk finally throwing some touchdowns, but it's to the wrong team.
You know, I'm not going to lie, Tyler. I actually picked up the Eagles defense this weekend because it was a better option than the Carolina Panthers, and they scored big for me also.
And you can see here the defensive end on the right side completely unblocked. And it is worth noting that the Redskins were without their star tight end, Jordan Reed, in this one. So they had Vernon Davis filling in.
Vernon Davis is a better blocker. I think Jordan Reed, he's a good pass catcher. But Kirk Cousins, he threw that ball across his body, off of his back foot, off balance. It's going to get picked every time.
And there's Matt Jones finding a hole up the left side.
Yeah, big day for these guys. Big day. They had a really good day running the ball, Washington did.
And there's Jones again, untouched, into the end zone for 6. That's going to put Washington up 21-14. They would add a field goal, but here's the rookie sensation, Carson Wentz, going deep down the field to Matthews. What a catch.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful pass also.
Now the Eagles will tack on a field goal to bring them within 7 here early in the 4th. The ensuing possession for the Redskins, Cousins drops back, throws a little floater, and that was a beautiful throw, beautiful touch pass.
Yeah, absolutely right. Nice catch by Vernon Davis.
And people forget, Vernon Davis was an All-Pro 3 years ago. This guy just fell off.
He is a specimen athletically. He's a player.
First down picked up by the Eagles there. Now Wentz drops back again, and he's going to air it out. And another good catch. That's Zach Ertz coming off of injury. Now the Eagles tack on a field goal here late in the 4th quarter. 20-27 is the score. And Matt Jones on a 3rd and long finds a big hole up the left side. He would eventually be chased down right here.
Yeah.
And had he gotten in, that would have sealed the game. That sealed the game anyway. There's only 75 seconds left.
No timeouts, 75 seconds. I mean, he really could have taken a knee after he hit that first down, but I mean, he saw pay dirt, and I think he was trying to pad the stats a little bit, you know. So this game wasn't even as close, in my opinion. I watched the whole game in its entirety. I wanted to see how these two teams played against each other, but I don't think it was even as close as it looked in those numbers. As a matter of fact, Philly was really getting blown out. Their first score was actually a returned punt for a touchdown, and their second score was a returned INT. So they ended up with 6 points of total offense in this one. Lane Johnson suspended 10 games for the use of PDs, their big left tackle. He's a Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowl tackle, you know, and probably the best player on that offensive line. And Carson Wentz was under pressure all day. I mean, he put together a couple of solid drives there. And I don't want to say that they were garbage time, but they were down a lot of points right there, and they were really able to throw the ball and air it out, and it wasn't as close as it even looked. I mean, they got run all over. They're supposed to have a really good defensive front 7 right there, and I mean, Washington, they ran that ball all over them all day. They pretty much marched up and down the field at will on them, and pressure on Wentz all day. It was a convincing win for Washington. I mean, like I said, the score is not even indicative of just how dominant Washington was over Philly in this game. And
Washington, they've reeled off 4 straight victories since losing to the Cowboys at home in Week 2. That's good enough to put them at 2nd in the division at 4-2. Philadelphia started out undefeated 3-0, hit their bye week. They've lost 2 straight since that bye week. They're 3rd in the division, and then you have New York down there at the bottom. Dallas still on top, though, at 5-1.
Yeah, at 5-1, and like I said, we didn't even play our best ball last week, and we're only getting better. I mean, this defense is really starting to come together as a unit. The rotation is good. I mean, you saw a guy like David Irving came in, and he was out for the last 2 weeks with a concussion. He was going through the protocol, but when he came back, he had fresh legs. And, you know, the week before that, we had DeMarcus Lawrence, and he was suspended for 4 weeks, and he came back in those fresh legs, and he put a lot of pressure. So we have a really solid depth at that position, and we don't have, you know, big playmakers and any names. And I mean, even a lot of the commentators, they're like, man, this defense, who are these guys? Yeah. Because it's not one guy, it's not stars on this team, it's a collection of guys, and we're just, as the season progresses, we've got fresher legs.
You know, David Irving.
Case
in point, David Irving. You know, a lot of people were probably watching that game, and they see him come up with the sack. They're like, who's number 56?
Yeah,
you know, until the commentator said it. It's just these average Joes stepping up when they're needed. That next man up mentality that you touched on last week. So that's going to do it for this segment, ladies and gentlemen. Hang around. We'll be back with more after the break. You're watching the Cowboys Fan Show.
Let's go Cowboys!